Good morning, fourth grade online learners. Today is January 11th, 2021. Welcome to science class. Some of you may have noticed last week I said today is July 8th. I rewatched my video and I said it was July 8th. Nobody noticed yet. Why would I say it's July 8th? And then I taught third grade and I said, good morning, online learners. Today is December 8th. It's January. Okay, so I'm not used to being on camera. I'm not used to being filmed, and that's my excuse for making mistakes. Excuse me. Today we're going to learn a little bit about the metric system. We are switching gears a little bit from last week when we learned about matter everywhere. Well, now we're talking about how to weigh and measure matter. Now, guys, in the last class, Orson Plaid, who's very curious, he is a very curious boy.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I think he's going to be a mad scientist someday. Orson said to me, Mr. Monzo, why do we have to learn the metric system if we don't use it in America? Great question. And guess what? When I was little, like Orson, without all the curly hair, I asked my teacher the same question. We don't use the metric system in the United States. Why do we have to know it? And she said, by the time you grow up, everybody's going to be using the metric system. Well, she was wrong. But she was partly right, guys. She was partly right because we do use the metric system when we, like my friends are mechanics. If you would have an accident and you would wreck your car, my friend will fix it for you. And he'll paint it and he'll make it look like nothing ever happened. Every part of that car is made in the metric system. Even American cars now. But definitely foreign cars. They're going to be made with metric bolts, metric nuts, metric fuel lines. So if my friend, and I'm helping him work on the car, he says, go get me a 14 millimeter socket. And if I don't know what he's talking about, he's going to get impatient with me. And if that's his job, his boss will be impatient with him. Because we are working on cars from other countries. They're made and manufactured in other countries. They're sold in America, and they all use the metric system. Okay? So the metric system is big in Europe and other continents, other countries. Not so much in the United States, but it's becoming more and more so. Now this yardstick is made of 3 feet. That is not metric. But if I flip it over, there's centimeters. And in 3 feet, there are 91 centimeters. Maybe 92, because this is kind of 91 and a half centimeters. Okay? So slowly but surely, we're converting to the metric system, even though my teacher said it would happen by the time I was older. It is happening because it's easier, guys. It's easier to count by tens. It's not easier for me because I learned standard measurement. Half of a foot is a half. Half of a half is a fourth. A half of a fourth is an eighth. Then a 16th, then a 32nd. That's easy because I learned it. But what if I have to add a half and a quarter? The bottom numbers are different. That's going to be hard to add 1/4 plus 1/2. Well, I'm going to have to make this a 4. I'm going to have to make this a 2. And now we get 3/4. If I was using the metric system, I don't have to convert anything. I just add tens. Okay, so metric is easier. We're not going to get too crazy with it, but it's a way of measuring matter. And you should know it, especially if you think you want to be a mechanic or if you're going to travel to another country.
Yep.
You go to another country and you say, yeah, that castle, it's about 10 miles down the road. Nobody's going to know what you're talking about. They're going to want to know how many kilometers away it is. Okay? And you may think that never is going to happen to you. I went to another country where they used the metric system. And believe me, I struggled a little bit because I was trying to figure out how far away certain things were. And I had no idea what they were talking about. Plus, they spoke they spoke German. I didn't know how to speak German. But by using standard measurement and then talking about metric, it's almost like somebody English talking German.
Oh my gosh.
It doesn't hurt to know another language, whether it's speaking or measuring. So that's why we're doing it. Orson Plaid, the boy with the natural curiosity. Okay, no journal entry today, but at home, if you have a book, we're on page E14. And I'm going to read a little bit from the book. We may get through it all, we may not. Lily, do you have a question? Yes, Lily is going to be right back. And Lucas.
When you said earlier about no one has got a shot, I've got a shot. It's called the flu shot.
Yeah, we get flu shots all the time, and we should anyway. And in the years that I didn't get flu shots, I usually got the flu. But it may be that we have to get the coronavirus every year. We don't know yet. We don't know how long it's going to last for when we get it. Okay, but everybody in this room has gotten a shot before. All right, so we should be okay. It's going to be uncomfortable for a little bit, but you get a sticker. Eden.
All the kids on our we ran this street last year got flu B. All of us got it.
Got what?
Flu B. We all got it.
All right, so yeah, usually if you get the flu and you start sneezing or coughing, other people are going to get it. Let's talk about the measuring matter first, and then we'll get back to the flu and all that stuff. The metric system. How could you find the exact height of a giraffe? By measuring it, of course. People have been measuring objects to describe their properties exactly for hundreds of years. At first, people used their hands or feet as measuring tools, but the measurements differ from one person to another. Guys, sometimes I'll do that if I'm trying to approximately figure out how long something is, and I may just go toe to toe, just measure it that way, but it's not exact. Over time, scientists developed a standard system of measurement. Now scientists can easily communicate their observations about matter to other scientists. All scientists use the metric system. The metric system is a system of measurement based on multiples of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. The table shows how different metric units are related. So if you have your book, you can check that out. I'm not going to ask you to convert things over to the metric system for the quiz or anything like that, guys. The main words you have to know is metric system, mass, volume, weight. Find centimeters, meter, and kilometer in the table. These units are metric units of length. You can see that 100 centimeters is the same as 1 meter. Both 1 and 100 are multiples of 10. You can easily convert between units simply by multiplying or dividing by a multiple of 10. This is true for all metric units. Everything's based on the number 10. When scientists measure objects, they use tools that measure in metric units. The ruler below measures length in centimeters. The giraffe's height is measured in meters. To find out how much mass something has, scientists use a balance that measures grams or kilograms. Scientists use beakers or graduated cylinders marked in liters or millimeters to show volumes of liquids. So that bowling ball, they say it's 7 kilogram. Its weight, I'm probably guessing, is 15 or 16 pounds. So you can't just double the kilograms. There's a conversion for how much it actually weighs in pounds. Nick Fan.
Kilo means